All right. So the first thing is when you are in your course, oh, and then I have some other fun things for you that I realized we did not talk about yet based on the webinars from last week. But when you're in your course, you will have this handy dandy Zoom tab, and it's already set up and integrated for you. So all you will do is click on your Zoom tab, and voila, your meetings and such will show up. So you can see upcoming meetings, you can see previous meetings that you've had, and then cloud recordings. Now, our trick with recording to the cloud is, even though it will show up here and you can publish it and make it viewable for students, the way our timing is set up, that's only good for 10 days. So if you were giving like an extra credit video, or if you wanted it to be something that they only had access to for a small period of time, you could use this, but otherwise you would have to click on it and download it anyways. Or when you're holding your Zoom meeting, you still have the option to just record to your local computer. But once you're in here on the Zoom, so it'll start out, it won't have anything here. You can schedule a new meeting, and you have all the Zoom options that you normally have on the computer. So, and you can make it recurring. So I did that for my office hours, and I said, like, you know, every Friday from 2 to 3, I made office hours. You can do it by date or by how many times it happens. You can set up a waiting room if you want. All the same settings that you have on Zoom are here. The only one that's not here is alternative host. And that's more, you know, for our students' protection and such. But if there are multiple instructors in the course, all of the instructors will be listed as alternative hosts. So if you're co-teaching with somebody and you're scheduling the meeting, the other instructor will automatically be listed in that alternative host field. But other than that, everything else is the same. The other nice thing about this here is that if you were to go to your course homepage, down at the bottom where we have this calendar area, those meetings show up in the calendar automatically. So this office hours via Zoom, that's this Friday. If I were to click on it, it'll take me to the Zoom link for it for students. I could say join Zoom if that's what I wanted to do that day. So it's easy to get to. You don't have to make separate links or anything. You could just say, check the calendar for our Zoom meeting. But, any questions on that? All right. If I go back into Zoom, previous meetings, let's see, I think I had a student come once or twice. But you can get a report from the meeting, so you can see who came, what time they came, leave time. I have no idea what the attentiveness score is because I don't host Zoom classes because my class was designed to be online. So we generally don't do that in this one. But that's something that you could definitely check out. And I might have to look up what it is on the Google here. But you can also get a poll report. So if you had poll questions in it and you were kind of going through it quickly and you wanted to come back to it, you could see them here also. Any questions? It's an easy day today, guys. Last week was like super hard with all of our crazy tools. Riley and I decided in the future we will probably spread them out a little more. But all right, our other option that we were going to talk about today is Bongo in Brightspace. And in Brightspace, it's not called Bongo because it is a premier partner with them. So it's built in much more cleaner and smoother to the platform than our integration with Moodle, because it's built in versus integration add-on. So if you were to go into course tools, you will see we have virtual classroom and video announcements. So virtual classroom is the Bongo meeting space. So if you want to hold a live class, if you want to record like you do now, it's the same thing here. And you'll notice it's familiar because the Bongo screen basically opens inside of Brightspace. So you can hit the plus button here to schedule meetings, and we have more options here than we do in our integration of Bongo. So, you know, you can make a title, you could do the date, time, items, you could do a now one if you wanted. Things, but we have max duration. So like you could set, it has a longer time limit here. So it does actually go somewhere. Oh, I scrolled down too far, guys. Down, you could do up to 240 minutes, so 4 hours on Bongo. And you can schedule repeating meetings here. So like if this is every week, you could say, all right, every 2 weeks or for 2 weeks, we're gonna do this meeting. You can set it up to automatically record. You can set it up to automatically publish the recording. So right now in Bongo, if you record, remember like that link automatically turns into the recording. Here you can choose. So if you don't want it to automatically turn into the recording, you can uncheck this box. If you want it to automatically turn into it or be published for the students to see, you'll leave it checked. And then we have this allow external participants. So if you have an outside speaker that you want to come, or somebody from another class, another student, whoever that you wanted to come to this class for whatever reason, you can click that button and get the link to send them. And that's that. Are there any questions there? So I will say, if you do set up a recurring meeting, they'll show up like this with numbers after them. So you can kind of differentiate from one to the next. So this was a recurring meeting that I set up for 2 weeks. So here's week 1, here's week 2. We have the dots over here, so you can get the external invite link if you wanted to send that to a speaker or whomever, or if for some reason you wanted to have both classes together, if you have 2 sections or things, you'd get that and send it. And then we have the launch to start meeting. These meetings also will show up on the calendar automatically. So if I scroll down here to our calendar, you can see that session automatically on the calendar here. I did not add it to the calendar. It just did it because I added it through the tool. When I click on it, it's here, and you can see the link to join. So the student would just click that and it would take them to the Bongo link directly, and they could say, oh, here we are. And hopefully it would be the correct time and not 22 hours beforehand. So you could enter the meeting room and get started. So once again, that's course tools, virtual classroom here. And I'm actually going to start one now and record it for, 30 seconds just to show you how it pops up on the bottom afterwards. Oh, meeting created. There it was. It was just slow. Launch the meeting. Enter the meeting room. I'm going to go with listen only for now because we're on the Zoom and it won't like it anyways. A couple things to note for Bongo, if you haven't used it in a while, is that Bongo also has breakout rooms. It also has polling. It has a chat, and enable closed captions. I wonder if that works. That's new. They've added a lot of features during COVID to better meet. Oh no, that's so someone can type. No closed captions yet, so that's the same. But a lot of the other things, it matches Zoom in most instances, except for the gallery view. So Bongo doesn't have a gallery view. It's limited, I think, to like 8 cameras to display max, but all of the other features are there, including the multi-user whiteboard. So like everybody could write on the screen at once. Oh, I should have start recording that whole time I was talking, guys. Let's put some nonsense on here. There are things on the other slide. All right, so we'll stop that. Oh, pause recording. Thanks for all my notifications. End meeting. All right. So either way, they're both great tools. They're there. And like I said, we'll come back to it hopefully at the end and it will have processed. But here we go. So the other thing that we want to talk about today is the video assignments. So video assignments, they're set up a little bit differently here in Brightspace than they were in Moodle. But if you click on video assignments, you'll be taken to this blank assignments page. And then you can hit the plus button down here in the bottom. So Bongo's always this plus in the lower right corner. And then we have all of our different video assignments. So these are great if you want the students to make recordings themselves, whether they're like talking over a PowerPoint or recording themselves and talking over a PowerPoint. You can also have them do it in groups. Then we have a question and answer assignment. So that's one where it'll play a question for the student and the student has to respond to it. And you can set it up so they can only play the video one time or multiple times, and then an interactive video. So if you wanted to make a video and have them, watch a video and add questions throughout it. So like if they get a question wrong, they have to go back and rewatch that portion of the video. You would do that with this interactive video assignment tool. Things. Let's set a due date in here. And I'll go through one of these with you because they're all pretty much the same here at the top. But some of the specific settings change based on which type of assignment you're doing. So instructions, you do have to put some sort of text in here, explain what's happening. And if you're concerned, you're like, I want to type more, I want to say more, you really want to use the text here to be succinct and kind of say, here's what you need to do. If you wanted to elaborate, one thing you could do is add a video here. So if you add a video here, you had the option, I just clicked through real fast, sorry, to make it go faster. But you could click this video, you can record a video right here and say like, oh, hey, here's the project, here's A, B, C, and D. This is what I want you to do, all of the things, and talk about it, explain it as much as you'd like to. And then down here is where you would add the video that you want them. So this one for interactive video, you could add the question or add the video that you want them to watch through. So you could upload it. Generally, this is a video that you'll want to do of like things, a video you created per se. But then you can create a question and you can say a multiple choice question at, 2 seconds. Whatever the question is, the understanding that you want to check, you can give them answers. You can give them specific feedback based on what they check. All right, and so if they get the wrong one and they could go, you can set it so they have to go back and rewatch. So that's the force retaking. So if you want it, if they got it wrong and you want them to have to redo it, you can click force retaking. You can say how much each question is worth as part of the assignment. And then down here at the bottom, so like this will give you like the basics of everything you have to set up like at a minimum. If you want to see more, every assignment type has the show advanced. So show advanced will pull up these post-submission instructions. So like if they're doing a project of some kind and you're like, oh, I want this to lead into the discussions, or I want them to think about this while they're moving on to this next topic, you could give them that guidance here. So when they submit their assignment, it'll say, think about this, do this, yada, yada. You can also add video here as well. And then some assignments have other items with them. Interactive video obviously doesn't have peer assessment because they're not submitting their own videos at all or anything, but lots of things. And you would just hit save and it'll show up here on the list. If you go to the overview of it, it's kind of cool because you can see how everyone's doing. So you can see on the learner side, how many of your students have looked at this activity, how many of them have started this activity. And then for your benefit over here, it tells you how many are needed to be graded, how many you have graded, and how many of those grades you have published. And it does that for all of their assignments now. So, fun things. Are there any questions in general on our video assignments? If you'd like to see more detail about the other types, so I told you there was 4 types. I just did the interactive video. If you want to see one of the project ones, or if you want to see the Q&A more in depth while we're here, you can let me know. All right. So when you're on your content page, if you make a video assignment that you want them to have and you want to put it in the appropriate week, we would just be able to go to existing activities. We'll locate video assignments. And then it'll pull up the video assignments that you've made. Or if you wanted to create from here, you actually could as well. So there's individual project, group project, the Q&A, and then the video, interactive video, which is the one we just went through. But you can click on it and it will add a link to your course. So the student will be able to click right on this and it will take them to that assignment page. So you as the instructor, when you click on an assignment like this, it'll always take you right to the overview page. And if you wanted to edit it, you would have to go to configure if you needed to change settings or adjust. But for the student, it will take them right to the assignment page. Let's see if it will let me view as a student. Content. Is it here? Yeah. Oh, nope, it doesn't let me do the view as a student on this currently. Maybe if I'll stop impersonating myself and impersonate a student. And then you could see. I do like how it opens up right within the page. So if you've used the video assignments at all, like the Bongo assignments in Moodle, it opens it in a separate page. So one of the things that's nice about this is it keeps it all right within the LMS. So that way the students don't have to go out to get things done. Personate. All right, so this is what the student side shows up. I like how it's nice and big and kind of like in their face about information. So it tells them how long they have until it's due. This one, since it's an interactive video assignment, it tells them how many questions they have to answer for the video. Here's the instructions that I typed. Here's the instructional video that I put in here. And then if I scroll down, here would be the video together. I'd click begin assignment. I added a meeting recording and it doesn't like meeting recordings. It wants like an actual video per se, like a PowerPoint voiceover type, or a demonstration video or just a video of you. It doesn't like, for the interactive video at least, the screen and you together type. But then you can check the question. If I enter blue and hit submit, it comes up with the feedback. I have to retry. It'll start, here's the question. I can do the right one. It'll go through, and then it'll just keep playing the video. So, and you can see up here, I have answered 1 out of 1 questions. All right, and then your assignment will be submitted once it's done processing. So it just takes, they watch till the end of the video, and then it will submit the assignment, at least on this one. Like I said, each one works a little bit differently, but they have lots of cool features and whatnot. All right, and then we had one question. How long are videos kept for students to view? Our Bongo videos are kept indefinitely. Zoom videos, if you record to the cloud, Zoom cloud is 10 days versus if you record to your computer, obviously you can keep it forever. So what I generally do is I record to the cloud and then I download it and I download my transcript. So here I will no. This one. All right, so here's my little page, and here is my little Zoom video that I made. So I downloaded it and then added it to my course. So this is just a Zoom recording.
Hi guys, welcome.
That I downloaded. And then because I recorded to the cloud, it automatically comes up with the transcript. So I just add that transcript here. So if they wanted to read it, they could. Which if they're in a place for whatever reason that they can't listen to anything and they don't have speakers or whatnot, it's kind of helpful. I'll be honest with you, I've never actually looked at this to verify it. I just know that it's like 95% correct and go with it. And I also don't have any students with accommodations or accessibility that require transcripts. Otherwise, I probably would spend the time. If you are, I don't know, recording to the cloud and you download it, there is one extra step you have to do for your transcript. Since we're talking about Zoom, I will show it to you real quick. Oh, wrong place. Zoom, not you, still you. So once you're in your Zoom account, all right, and you look at your recordings. All right, you can click on it. It tells you you have lots of files usually. So this was just a test one that I did that had me, but usually you'll have one that says like screen share view with speaker. That's the one that I normally download. But down at the bottom, you'll have the audio transcript. Well, then I'm gonna have to go to the trash because that one's not processed. The video itself processes faster than the transcript. So here, go back. All right, so here is a better one. So I have the shared screen with speaker view, shared screen, audio only, audio transcript. So I always download this one, and that's what I upload to Brightspace. And then for the transcript, I download it, and then I show it in the folder or look at it in my downloads folder. Oh, hold on guys, there it is. All right, so you can see it here and it's a file, it says V. Oh, I lost it. Sorry guys, I was jumping the gun. Moving around too quickly. All right, so all these VTT, not 3 T's, 2 T's files are the transcript files that download from Zoom. If you were to try and open one, it's not gonna like it because the VTT. So all you have to do is rename it. So I right click on it, I click rename. I can leave all the text at the beginning, expected value, transcript, that's fine. But instead of VTTT, or two T's, I can't say it right, all I type is TXT and hit enter. So I get a notification that I'm changing my file extension. I say yes, it's fine. And it has now changed it into a text file. That's what the .txt is. So it will open. So that's the benefit of recording to the cloud. If you're not going to do that whole process with your Zoom files, you might as well just record to your local computer. It's easier. You don't have to go download it and then upload it. You can just have it on your computer and put it on Brightspace. But if you want a transcript or you need a transcript for students, that's how you do it. Right. Are there any questions? I'm going to hop back over to our virtual assignments. So you can see what the recorded meeting is. So it just popped up down here, recorded meetings. And if you were to click on it, so you can preview it, which, you know, just pulls up a little snippet of the video right here. The other option that we have in the virtual classroom is attendance. So you could see who was there, what their role was, how long they were in the meeting, and if you asked them to participate via chat at all, or if you just wanted to see, or if you weren't monitoring it closely, you could see how often or how many times they participated in the chat during that lecture. But I think that's everything for our virtual classroom, our video classroom, and our Zoom integration. Are there any questions on those? All right. While I have you here, a fun thing that I found out last week. So right now, Moodle gives you 30 minutes to edit a post, and then that's it usually, especially on the student side. I think us as faculty, we can edit whenever, but students have 30 minutes. On Brightspace, it's currently set up so that students can edit their posts longer, as well as you can edit posts longer, which I don't know if you've ever had a student realize late that their post was wrong, and then they email you and they're like, I can't edit it. And you're like, I can't edit it for you. And they want to submit a new one or different things. But so they can edit their posts, but we do have an option here to view post history. So if you were to click on that, you'd be able to see any updates that were made to a post. So if you looked at one and you thought, oh, this looks different than when I looked at it last week, you'd actually be able to see if it was changed at all. So this student posted it on this date and time, and there haven't been any updates or changes to it since then. So you can see that for all of the posts. There's also the option, I'm going to go back to somewhere that's not as risky to demo. If I go to the general questions, all right, there's a question here. And say for some reason I thought the student made this post and it was inappropriate and didn't belong here, or I had questions about it, I can click delete thread, and it is now gone. So it's not going to be there, and I can get rid of it and I can talk to the student about it. Think. So that's there. Also, we have in our course tools, course admin. I don't remember if we talked about this at the beginning enough, but course tools, course admin takes you to everything that you can look at for your course as a faculty member. All right. So course offering information, we have book management. You can get to the calendar from here. You can set up links. You can manage the dates for all of your assignments at one point here, manage files if you wanted to go and add a whole bunch of files to your course at once in that course file manager that we talked about. I remember the other thing we were going to talk about was groups. So we did have a question from Larry. Can the student reply to their own discussion thread to sort of edit it? On Moodle, that's definitely what they do and what I've told them to do. On Brightspace, they can either edit it or they could reply to themselves. Let's see, so if there's something that you're looking for your course and you're like, I can't find it up here in this nav bar, or you click on course tools and you don't see it in this list of items that you want to get to right away, you can click course admin and it will take you to this page and you can see all of the things that you can do with your course. One of those is groups. All right, so if you were to go to groups, so you can set up assignments for groups, you can have discussion groups for groups, but you can, the first step is creating a new category. So the category is like the big bucket that holds all of the groups. So if I were to go back real quick, this discussion groups, this is my category, discussion groups. And then here are my actual 2 groups in that category. So if I were to come here and say, category name is final project groups. All right. Work with these people on your final project. Right. And you don't have to put a description. But then we have several different enrollment types. And this is where we kind of differ from Moodle groups, and there's some fun features. So you could do it by number of groups. So you could say, I just want 6 groups, and it'll give you, if you do no auto enrollments, it'll just give you 6 empty groups, and you can put students into groups that you want. So you can say, like, I have groups made, I want them to be in these groups in the system. You could also do groups of numbers, and this one is an auto enrollment because it doesn't have any extra things. So you could say, I want groups of 3, and it will automatically put students into groups of 3. Number of groups, you could say, I want 6 groups, and it will automatically put your students into 6 groups, however they go about it. Now these next 2, or next 3 are cool because they are self-enrollment. So that means you set up the groups and the students opt into a group. So they can choose which group they want to be in. So I'm planning on using this for my final project, and I'm going to do a number of groups self-enrollment. So you could do groups of number of groups, the same 2 options, and then the number of groups, capacity of number. So you could say, like, the number of users per group is capped at 4, and I want there to be 8 groups. So they can join up to 4 people. So if a group hits 4 people, they have to join a different group. So that's fun. And then you have the restrictions. So we aren't going to use those in most instances, I believe. If you have a cross-listed course, you'll actually have multiple sections here. So if you wanted to kind of make one group for one that you're if you have a grad class and an undergrad class that are cross-listed together and you only want your grad students to work with your grad students, you could use the sections here because you'll have the section of your grad students listed and then you'll have the section of your undergrad students listed. So there's that, but most of the time we'll have no restrictions. And then the group prefix is just what do you want to be at the start of the group. So like, is it going to be group 1, group 2, group 3? Is it going to be team 1, 2, 3? So my other one was like Rockstar group 3, right? So final project, awesome team. And then it'll add the numbers in. And then down here, we have advanced properties. So since I have it set up as self-enrollment where the students can pick their groups, I can set enrollment start dates. So I can say they can't pick a group until this date. I could say they have to pick a group by this date. You can check a box that says if they didn't pick a group, automatically put them in a group. And then we have this super fun area. Create workspaces. So if you want a discussion to be done by groups, you can either go through the discussions tab and add them, or if you're using it for something else, you can check these boxes right here and say, set up a discussion area, a discussion that uses these groups. So you can put it in a forum that you already have. You can create a new topic. You can attach to an existing topic if it doesn't already have other things attached. All of mine do. But you can do that. And then you can also check if you want to set up an assignment. So if these students are working in a group together and at the end of this group project, you want them to submit an assignment or do a presentation, you can set that up all right here while you're setting up the group. So I'm going to go ahead and click save. And then it will walk me through the steps to set up those assignments. So you can choose, do you want one topic per group? Do you want one topic with a drop-down box that's separated by group? So like it's all be in one space for you, whichever. So you can do create and next, or if you wanted to add another topic and have like multiple topics for this group, you could do it. But otherwise you can hit create and next. And then it'll take me, because I said I also want an assignment for these groups. I can name the assignment, give them instructions for the assignment, set it all up here for the group as I'm going. You'll see it defaults to a group assignment with that group category that I'm working in now. If I wanted to change it to a different group, I could. Submission type, you can set up all the assignment settings right from this group's page. Right, all of those things, everything you normally would. And then you can click create, or if you had a second assignment for these groups, you could click add another. So it didn't create any forums because I put it in a forum that I already had. I did create one topic in that forum and one assignment. So then it'll bring us back to our group overview. It'll show you the discussions that you set up, the assignments that you set up, and you click save. And now it's there. So I can see, here's my category, here's my individual groups. Since I set it up to be self-select, they're all 0 out of 4s because the students haven't self-selected in. But then over here, I could click on their discussion and jump right to it. Any questions on the groups so far? All right, the other type of group, I'm gonna do this one more time. New category. If anybody is interested in journaling or having students like journal in a discussion space so only they can see it, none of the other students can see it, you can use the group for that. And if we scroll down here, there is one last enrollment type that we didn't talk about, single user member specific groups. And if you click this, it puts everybody in their own individual group. So if I wanted to make journaling groups or like have students do a journal every week or like reflect on things each week, or if they're in a placement somewhere and you want them to at least like reflect on their placement or answer a couple questions about it each week, you can set up journaling. You can use this single user member specific group function. If you want to make them visible to other group members, you can, or the category and group description. So up here, if you want them to be able to see that, you would check it. But down here in additional options, I would set up a discussion area. You can choose one of your forums that already exists, or you could make a new one if you wanted. I'm going to create a new topic. I'm not going to add an assignment for this one because I just want them to do the journaling. So I'll hit save. It'll take me to the topic setup. So I want one topic with threads separated by group because I don't want 21 topics. Journaling group discussion, and then you could say like each week or twice a week, however many, whatever is relevant for your course. Journal about A, B, C, D. This is private. Other students can't see it, only me. Right, and I'm going to hit create and next. This time you'll notice we jump right back to the summary page because we didn't set up any assignments. We didn't check that box. We can click done. If you want to double check it down at the bottom before you hit save, you can. And now here's my journaling group, and every student is in their own group. So that was super fast to set up journals for everybody because of that option.
What if you have a grade for that?
You can still give it a grade. So when you're setting up the discussion, if we go here, let's go to the discussion. All right, so journaling group discussion. I'm going to click edit topic. And then I can click on the assessment tab.
Okay.
And so from here, I could add it if I had a grade item already, but I could click new grade item and add it in to the grade book that way.
Thank you.
All right, but down here, if we wanted to go look at it, here we have the journaling group discussion. If I click on it and open it up here, you'll see that you can see all groups at once, which is super nice for you because you don't have to click into a bunch of different topics or whatnot, but you can see them all together. You can also click on them and see them by each individual group, and it'll say it auto defaults to their name. So that way you can see whose journals are what and things. I knew there was something else we meant to cover today besides all the meeting stuff, and I was like, what is it? Groups. But you can also comment back to the students in their group. So like it's a nice way if you wanted to have like a private dialogue ongoing throughout the semester, you could do that. Lots of fun things there. Are there any other questions? No? All right. Well, that's all I have for that. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share. And if anybody wants to see our fun pumpkins, I'll try and log on my phone quick and show you the fun pumpkins. All right, let's see. Zoom. There's my phone, guys. You see it? Fancy bouncing background. Oh, hey, this picture came up in my memories today, guys. It was when I was a student here. Woohoo. But here you go. Here are our fun pumpkins.
How cute.
Oh, they're cool. That's great.
I love the eyes. I thought I tried to convince my daughter to put them in. She tried them because there were also blue eyes, and then there were like red cat eye shape like eyes, and she tried them and she was like, nope, thanks. I'm good.
Too scary.
Yeah.
How cute.
Cute.
Oh,
Yeah.
she looks just like you.
Yes, she is my Minnie. We had family pictures taken the other weekend, and somebody commented, they were like, you both have minis. Yeah, here you can see our friends. They had the complex book with like pumpkin shaving and very detailed witch, and I was like, I bought the easy children's.
Very cute.
Oh, they're great.
Fun time, guys.
Yeah.
Now I can't figure out how to get back out of the Zoom. Oh, and extra me's. There we go. All right. That's all I have for everybody. Spring shells populated today. So if you want to start building a spring course in there, it's there. I think, pretty sure. It was in test. That's what I was doing before we were in the test environment. Let's see. 2021. They will be there shortly. They are not here yet. I'm sure Julie started it, but it might not be done yet. Yay, spring. Oh, it's because I'm as faculty. I should probably be me. Maybe they are there and I just missed it.